This morning I'm going to repurpose a painting that I did many years ago. This is a 3 by 4 foot painting that I did for my daughter to hang in her dorm room when she, I believe, was a sophomore. And she's been out of college for quite some time. It's been on my back porch. I've changed the colors on my porch, so I'm going to turn the orientation, do more of an abstract, and just pull some colors together that are out there. So who knows what it's going to look like. Stay tuned. I have dug out some of my old craft paint. I'm going to use the gesso for the white, a little bit of the gray tones. I'm going more neutrals, but I like greens, dull, kind of teal greens, and I threw in some metallics to add some interest. So, wonder what this will be like. Sadie's curious too. I'm starting with gesso. Just going to pour it on. I have no plan for this. Sometimes the art just needs to make itself. I do need to cover the base coat here, and this will give me an idea of what kind of coverage I can get. Might need more than one coat. And I'll turn the fan on probably in a bit. See, that didn't go very far. So, we're gonna have some fun with this. Very, very formal painting here. I don't normally paint abstracts. Sometimes that's the easiest thing to do for a room, to pull the color together, and that's probably one reason why it's popular. But today I'm going to start with just covering the old to begin with. The color underneath is not what I'm using anymore. With a turquoise is probably the only thing that's similar. I just haven't done anything like this in a while. And abandoned farm is a good way to have some therapy. And might work out to be a video, you know. Let's go. Should time myself. Let's see. Oh, it's been. I like the progress making here. There is little bits of thicker, dry gesso. I hadn't used that gesso in a while, and I didn't shake up the bottle or pour it out and stir it, so move those when they get in the way. And a little texture don't hurt anything, at least for what I'm doing. I put on one of my favorite old shirts, Midville School of the Gifted. I used to teach elementary gifted students for about 5 years, and then some in middle school. So sometimes very gifted people, no offense to them, don't have as much common sense at times. I have 2 gifted children, and they have a lot of common sense, so it's just funny, for sure. Because the guy's pushing instead of pulling, or pulling instead of pushing. I don't know, I'm not looking at my shirt. Alright, so I can create some random texture. Do I want to do that at this point? Yeah, why not? Just have some fun with it. It's not a gel, it's not real thick, but might add some movement underneath. Subtle movement. And there is wood braces back here, so if I push too hard, I'm hitting the wood. So I need to be careful of that. So it's like when you have something underneath a piece of paper and it rubs an image and you press against it, crayon rubbing, that kind of thing. So I don't want that to impede. I don't really want this to be any more white. And I'm going to use inexpensive, craft paint for this project. Pull some of that white, move it to the side. I don't think I need that much right there. I'll put it in one of these meat trays. Maybe it won't be dry when I come need it again. Meat trays are great for acrylic painting because they're inexpensive. Not that styrofoam's the best thing to use. It should be a little more earth. Anyway, don't want to fill up the landfill with styrofoam, so I don't use it that often. I used to use ice cream lids from those gallon ice cream, but my husband and I don't eat ice cream much anymore, so they have kind of disappeared. All right, now do I let that dry, or do I just throw on some other paint and see what happens? I just feel like throwing paint and see what happens. That's a little pale or runny. It's all going to be runny. Yeah, I like that color better. A little more muted. Also, I'm not sure. See, some of that underpainting isn't totally covered up. So we have some of the tulips peeking through. And so that means I might need to let it dry. But it is kind of fun when you just squeeze out a little bit and see what happens. Go around the edges so we can hang it outside. So this is going to go outside, so on my back porch. Now, do I want to make it into anything? See my realistic. I'm such a realist as far as I usually look at something when I paint, and I want it to look like something. So abstracts are hard for me, and I just let it do its thing. Of course, right now I'm probably overworking it. Put a fan on it, let it dry. This can be the first underpainting. First underpainting layer. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to hit it with a fan. Well, before I hit it with the fan, I'm going to throw a little bit of metallic in there. See if it's... Well, that was a little more than a little. Just, you know, having fun. Isn't that what it's all about? That heavy line where the tulip table, or the table. I wanted to kind of obliterate that. I have some bunch of tools over here I'm going to play with a little bit. And even a paper towel. Paper towel has cool texture. Lift that off. That makes it a little more interesting. Because it's nice and... Oh, that's kind of cool. And you can transfer it. Makes it a little more organic. Yeah, I'm liking that better. I do this when it's wet. Acrylic dries fast. And some of that showing through doesn't even bother me right now, so we shall see. Never thought about paper towel painting, huh? It's fun. It's kind of cool. Might need a new one. This one's kind of saturated. I do like transferring the color and creating a little texture at the same time. You have to be careful because it does lift off. And I didn't do anything around the edges. So. Oh, I didn't even paint the edges over here. Shame on me. Alright, this is going to be the top. So, I'm just going to do like that. Why not? I just want it to blend when it goes around the corner. All right, when I look up here, what draws my attention is that mark right there. So I'm gonna soften that. Don't like that, it's too blurred. We'll come back with other things. I kind of like how some of it's in focus and some of it isn't. Okay, over there's, you don't want everything to be a little more light in there, a little dull. Where did I put my light? Right here. Remember? I lifted some of that. You know, I'm kind of liking even some of that underpainting coming through. I thought I was going to cover it all up, but I like the warmth it's bringing. Even though I'm going more toward neutrals in my another paper towel. A little smaller. See why you need gloves on this method. And pick up some of that, transfer it. Finger paint. Nah, not like that. That's kind of distracting. Add a little silver. I don't know what silver will do. The reason why I picked silver originally was because it's similar to gray, but a little more interesting. Okay. It's another light. Whoa, not as light as I thought. There's some blue in there. You can quickly overwork something. Just repeating the color. Other places. Too much of a circle. Drag that. I didn't know what this would do. I don't know that I like it, but it's adding texture. Oh, there's something about this dark green that I like. So we'll find that again and reestablish that in here. And probably overdoing this. I'm liking that as far as kind of bringing your eye into this, so I'm going to get more of the paper towel, lift some of that up, soften those edges. Might need to go find some white. Add some swirls on top and do that. Kind of crazy right now. I don't mind it. Okay, so I might break up just some of these so they're not so exact. What did I say? About 30 minutes ago, about maybe not 10, maybe 30 minutes, maybe 15. Yeah? This was an old wipe, so I'm trying to use it. soften that edge in the background. I kind of like those streaky things. Do a little bit more of that. A little more organic that way. You can decide, oh, that was a good move or not. But I like it. Breaks up the line. They're not all the same. Adds interest. It reminds me of those things I did when I was a kid, when you cover string with paint and then you would close up your close the paper together and then you would pull your string out. Okay, now I think I'm done. I'm gonna put the fan on it, let it dry. I don't know. You know what? I do have stencils. I'll leave them right here. I don't need stencils. I don't even know if it's the right color to pull things together, but we'll see when it's dry. All right. That was a big 21 minutes. Okay, I've turned it one way and it started dripping. And so I flipped it so it would dry this way. So this side is this. It needs to be lengthwise. So this way. Or this way. I can't leave it there too long because it's going to drip. So I want to flip it so it doesn't change too much. Why you want to let it drip this way? I don't think so. Again, that's why you want to wear gloves, because I'm handling this, and I've already pulled some of it off. There it is. That green is kind of overwhelming. This is kind of a metallic bluish green. Turquoise. I'm going to put that on top. And that might be it. I think I like that. Now, I'm going to have to let that dry because if I put it up, it's going to drip. And that one I don't want to drip. I like it the way it is. I like that. I'm going to leave it like that, and I will show you another picture of it when it's all dry.